Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You know something? We're playing Christmas music 24/7. And AP, I did ask Phil about this, if he thought it would be a wise decision to have Christmas music every day, all throughout the year. He's kind of doing a little setback on that idea. But anyway, I would air Christmas music all year. You can also find us on television, channel 182 Charter, and also syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Everybody's favorite sports talk show host, AP Steadham, also he has his own show called AP As We See It. Wow, what a ball game. What ball games, may I say?
Right. And as I discussed, that's not even the action on the field.
It was a little different this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a little activity during the game, interaction, high emotions. Players got out of hand. They couldn't control themselves. And then after the game, around the country, it seemed like it'd be contagious. It was epidemic. People fighting after the football game. They thought it was boxing instead of football.
I know. Yeah. What's wrong with everybody?
I don't know. I think they're so self-absorbed. Yeah. This generation, Jonah, they don't represent their school, their family, the team. It's all about, my feelings were hurt. I'm going to throw a punch. I'm going to fight somebody. It's really disheartening, but this is a new era. And when you watch the Alabama-Alabama game through the years, yes, you saw some jawboning. Sure, you saw some of that penalty here and there, but you never did really see, and I can't recall, maybe somebody else will chime in, but fighting during the game, after the game, I mean, they usually, because they played against each other in high school, they're walking across the field to shake hands, whether they were satisfied with the outcome or not. But in this new era and age of football and athletics, players, they have no sense of maintaining and representing a school with class.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
That's the way I feel.
Well, Phil and I, of course, we're for opposing teams. I'm the Auburn fan. He's the Alabama fan.
Correct. Yes.
But we don't lose sleep over it. I mean, it's important. I want my team to win. And, there were some slight possibilities over the weekend that they might. Yeah. But I didn't erupt into a mad fit or anything like that.
No.
And he doesn't either.
No. And I think the first thing that people say when you call them out on that behavior, it's an emotional game. Well, it's an emotional game for 100 people on one side, 100 people on the other. You didn't see 100 people fighting. You saw a few individuals. So I don't buy that excuse at all. You knew that when you're 10 years old. It's an emotional game. And you learn to manage your behavior and represent, as I say, your team, your family, your state, and your school to the best of your ability. But now that seems to be passé.
Oh, I talked with someone over the weekend who said, I'm for Alabama and whoever plays Auburn. And I said, I'm not like that at all. I would rather my state win. And then if my state can't do it, I'd rather someone within the SEC win.
Right. Yeah, we bring this up every year, Donna, when Nick Saban first arrived at Alabama. I don't know if he's the only coach to ever bring up this point, but if Alabama's not very good, Auburn's not very good, the game, it'll be at a bad television time, and it won't be the best for the two schools and the state and the conference. So you're rooting against yourself. And then when you're trying to enter the playoffs and earn a berth, you're playing a schedule that is weak, that is working negatively against you. So you're playing against yourself.
Mm-hmm. I just don't get that mentality at all.
I don't either, yeah. Even if you show people that hopefully that's logical to them, they still will deny it. They will deny that I'm just going to root for Auburn to lose every game or Alabama to lose every game. And they just don't care. They're like children. They're not grown up. Adults can be the biggest children.
Oh, it's just not healthy at all. And also, it's not just Phil and his family who are Alabama fans. My entire family is an Alabama fan. But my best friend and I, she went to Auburn University and is a veterinarian. And I don't know, I just picked up on that. I like that. And so some family members have said, we're going to disown you because you're an Auburn fan. And I'm like, are you serious? You're going to disown me because I'm an Auburn fan? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But anyway.
I don't get it. But anyway, that was a pretty good ball game, though. Did it end like you expected it to end?
Well, I thought Alabama would win playing at home. I thought that Auburn had trouble through the year with turnovers, but they were fairly good on the turnovers. Alabama was the team with the turnovers, but they couldn't seem to solve Jalen Milroe running the football. He's very fast. He's big, hard to tackle, even if you call the right defense. So he ended up with 104 yards on the ground. He passed for 256. He had 3 touchdowns rushing the football. So he was tough to corral for the Auburn Tigers. Auburn couldn't get anything going on the run game, really. Jaquez Hunter, they held him to 56 yards on 13 carries. Peyton Thorne threw for 300, had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but they couldn't get into the end zone enough to make it closer than the 14 points, 28-14 victory for Alabama. But I thought it would be competitive. It was for a while. And Auburn this year, I think the best thing, they didn't make the bowl game because they had to get 6 wins. They had 5 wins. So they lost the game into the season, 5-7. I think it's the third losing season. So they're going to have to regroup. I know they're looking for a quarterback to bring in, their freshman transfer, see if they could turn things around. I think defensively they got worn out this year, Donna, because with the offense at time, they would move the ball, we always said, but they would have to turn the ball over. They ended up, 120 something turnovers. It was only 133, 134 teams overall. So way on the bottom in turnovers. And that's one of the statistics. They say we need to win this battle of keeping possession of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Now, with a little more experience with Auburn, do you think they'll do better next year?
I thought they'd do better this year, Don. I thought they had a chance to win, let's say, between 7 and 8 games because of the addition of the transfer receiver from Penn State, Lambert Smith. He had a good ball game. I think he had over 100 yards on Saturday. And then Coleman, the freshman from Alabama, he came out at the end of the year for Auburn. I thought they would do much better with those 2 receivers. They would have more production, but as I said, they stumbled in the turnover category, and their production on offense was not consistent.
Mm-hmm. Now, Alabama, a little lacking this year, as compared to previous years. What do you see in store for them next year?
Yeah, they're going to try to finish out this year, Donna. There's an outside chance that they might come in the back door on these playoffs. They have to be one of the top 12 teams. Mm-hmm. But if not, they're going to go to a bowl game. I'm interested to see who remains on the team during the bowl game if it's not during the playoffs. This is kind of a test of Kalen DeBoer, the head coach, and he rallied his players to play for pride to win another bowl game at Alabama because Alabama historically is the winningest bowl team, so that means something to the University of Alabama, whereas other schools, they don't have that statistic and that tradition of winning bowl games. So, but Alabama next year, I suspect they're going to have a new quarterback. I think Jalen Milroe will move on either to enter the draft or maybe to another team, maybe transfers as well. I don't know. But I'm thinking of another quarterback. And there's plenty of talent in Alabama, but not in this day and age of football where the transfer of talent is now more balanced. Mm-hmm. You're going to find out who can really coach the game.
Yeah. And this is what you've received a lot of emails based on the transfer. Folks, it's so easy to transfer all the time. One guy even, he said, I'm older now. He said, I remember when divorces weren't so easy to get. It basically, in essence, you're divorcing your team.
That's what it is. That's what it is, Donna. It's the divorce within the game of college football and college athletics. Yeah, it's easily done. No lawyers involved.
Yeah, really. So who are as far as who are the top 5, and then let's go to the top 10?
Right. Down to the top five this week, and we just have the two polls: the Associated Press and the Football Writers. The Football Writers only 1 through 16. Oregon is at the top. Texas is number 2. Penn State is number 3. Notre Dame is number 4. Georgia's number 5, and that's the same in both polls, Donna. And then I'll give you the SEC teams. Tennessee is number 6. Alabama 11. South Carolina is 14 in the Football Writers, 13 in the Associated Press. Ole Miss is 15. Then you have Missouri's number 22 in the Associated Press. And those are the teams from the SEC. 6 in the Football Writers. That poll's only 16. And 7 in the Associated Press. And then Don, we always discuss Clemson. They're 18th. 18th.
Well, and then let's talk about that. That was another heated game. The South Carolina and Clemson.
Yeah, very, very close ball game. Excuse me. South Carolina, the visiting team. Lenore Sellers, the outstanding freshman. Now, he is a big quarterback, 6'3", 242 pounds quarterback. He could play tight end at that height and weight. But he had an excellent ball game, 164 yards passing, 13 of 21, one interception. And he on the ground, only 16 attempts, 166 yards, 10 yards a carry, Donna. He had 2 touchdowns, and he led him in the last couple minutes for the go-ahead touchdown in South Carolina of the SEC defeated Clemson out of the ACC in a rivalry game it was as good as any this weekend, actually.
So, and a lot of riffraff out there on the team as well after that game. And I just, we got to be better than that.
I don't understand. Well, I guess I do. Like I said, this era of player, this generation of people, they're very self-absorbed, and they're not playing for the school or the university or their family. When you're playing football, Donna, it's a collision sport. Mm-hmm. So you can set aside, excuse me, that contact that you think is offensive. You're wearing equipment. You're not getting hurt. You're more than likely all this pushing and shoving business. You don't want to get into a fight with your hand and hit somebody because the other person's wearing a helmet. So you're going to hurt yourself and your team. But like I said, they're very self-absorbed, their personalities, and they just hear the phrase, I don't care. You watch on the sideline, coaches can't even manage their team. I've seen this year, particularly players not coming out of the game when the coach tells them, come out of the ball game because you created this penalty, you're fighting. We want to have you get on the sideline, and they deny the coach right in front of the whole audience. Yeah. Their family, their friends. That's
not respectful at all.
There's zero. That's zero respect. Zero respect for everything, including yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I went to somebody's house. It's been several years ago, and I saw I was going down the hallway in their house, and I saw a hole in the wall. Well, the husband comes out with his hand bandaged up. And I said, what happened there? Well, he got mad at her. Instead of hitting her, he hit the wall. And I said, did that really do you any good? Because now you got a bandage up hand. So Go figure. Let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back. I promise you, if I ever get mad at you, AP, I won't hit you. I promise.
Thank you, Don.
I think very highly of you, so that won't ever happen. Okay, we'll be right back in just a minute. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020. We're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonesmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely
Good afternoon.
free.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central, as we get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on the radio at icuradio.media, where we are playing and airing Christmas music 24/7, which I would keep it all year. Phil would say go on it. And you can also find us on television, 182 Charter and Abundance Television. We are syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the Newscaster Studio, thenewscasters.com. AP Steadham actually has a program on the Newscasters as well, and they are so tickled to have you, AP.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be there. Thank you for pointing me in that direction, Don.
Well, it's a good direction to be in. Now, AP, as we see it, what's going on with the show this week? And what about last week? I know you were sick.
Yeah, Don, I was under the weather last week. So my intern, Jacob Holcomb, he's an intern from Mississippi State. He managed rivalry week for me on a last minute basis. I was, like I said, under the weather. So people can listen to him. And it was, he's young. And so it was his first time hosting the show. So just have a little patience with him. But this week, Donna, Georgia and Texas have made the SEC championship game. So we're going to have, so far we have the Texas sideline reporter, Will Matthews. We're looking to get somebody from Georgia as well, because that's the big game of the week. All the other teams that finished their season, they're waiting for the playoffs now to be announced this Sunday after all the championship games of the leagues from the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the SEC and the ACC and the Mountain West. All these leagues are playing the championship games, trying to earn a berth to the 12-game college football playoff. So we're going to focus in on Georgia and Texas, but we'll discuss the rest of the teams as well, as we always do, because we just want to give a synopsis of and our impressions and observations of their season, and some of the things that we thought were positive, and then some of the things that were, of course, negative about each team.
Yeah, and you guys do a great job on that. And by the way, your intern did a good job, I thought.
Oh, thank you. Then I also tell Jacob, he was wondering, he was asking, and I said, well, I'm going to take a look at it, Jacob. So.
Tell him we listened. So he did a great job. So he'll be a great backup for him if you have to be out of town or whatever. Okay, So let's talk about this coming week's. Well, wait a minute. Let's talk about some of the games that happened this past week.
Right. Yeah. We always discuss Tennessee.
Yeah.
So Tennessee's one of the teams up in North Alabama and popular. So they beat Vanderbilt. They were losing the game. Vanderbilt that was played in Nashville. We know that Vanderbilt has had a terrific season. I mean, kudos to Clark Lee, the coach of Vanderbilt, and Diego Pavia, the transfer quarterback from Mexico State. They were able to beat Alabama and Auburn. They're the state champion, along with Oklahoma of Alabama, because both of those teams beat Alabama and Auburn in the same year. So, but Vanderbilt, they couldn't hold on. Tennessee came out on top, 36-23. Nico Iamaleava, he was pretty hot on Saturday. 18 for 26, 257 yards, 4 touchdowns down. That's one of his better games. Only 1 interception. And Dylan Sampson, the outstanding running back for Tennessee, he's been very good throughout the season in his career. 25 attempts, rushing 178 yards, 1 TD. And Nico Iamaleava had 6 rushes for 42 yards as well, on top of that 257 yards. So he had a hot game for them. And Diego Pavia, the quarterback for Vanderbilt, has been dynamic all season. Each one of the reasons they're winning and they're bowl eligible, which is sensational for a team that, Donna, think about this, 0-8 in the conference last year, did not win a game. But Vanderbilt, they beat Alabama 40-35. They played Texas to a 3-point game in Nashville. They played 2 overtimes. Missouri lost by a couple points there. They beat Auburn by double digits at Auburn. So they had a very good season for the Commodores, but they held Diego Pavia to 8 for 17 passing on only 104 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. So Tennessee, they're sitting nice at 10-2. They'll be in the playoffs. They're waiting to hear if they're going to be a home team or have to go on the road. But I think they might be. It looks like they might be a home team in the first round. And that playoff, we're going to get into that next week when the teams are announced. There's a bye for the top 4 teams, and the top 4 teams after that play at home. They host somebody, so that'll be on campus. So that's all brand new. The one thing I want to mention, Donna, if you think about it, some of these teams now you're forfeiting your option to play in a bowl. If you lose in the playoff game, you don't go to a bowl game. That is your bowl game, going to these playoffs. Yeah, so that's something new.
The talk of the town has been Vanderbilt. How do you think they'll be doing if they don't lose players and they've gained this experience? Where do you see them next year?
Yeah, if you have a quarterback who can really make a difference, and that's Diego Pavia, the transfer from Mexico State. If he stays or they recruit another one, Vanderbilt seems to have turned a corner and they're moving in the right direction. Now, this next year, Donnie, you're trying to maintain or get better. So it's based on your roster. Clark Lee has done a great job in acquiring talent. And he has the option. And I think Vanderbilt, moving forward, Donna, they understand that they have to be a player in this name, image, and likeness business. So they cannot be looking on the outside and saying, we're just offering you the scholarship to Vanderbilt. No, you have to offer players name, image, and likeness revenue that they can receive based on their ability to attract companies and businesses to represent them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see a lot in store for them next year. Absolutely. And let's go a little bit outside of the SEC.
Right. Yeah, Donna, one of the big upsets this weekend was Ohio State playing at home where they discuss it as being a $20 million roster. They acquired players from everywhere, including Quinshaw and Judkins from a small town here in Alabama, Pike Ridge. And he played at Ole Miss with 2 times, Tom. He was an all SEC running back. He was one of the top players in the conference, not only at Ole Miss. He moved on to Ohio State. They were playing at home. They had the one loss to Oregon by a point on the West Coast, and they lost against Michigan, their rival, who was having a down year, but they couldn't score any points in the second half and ended up being 13-10, and they lost the game. Of course, there was that fracas at the end of the ball game where Michigan was trying to plant the flag, which I think is the utmost disrespect. I tell people, look, you might have lost the ball game, but I'm not surrendering my field to you where you can plant a flag. There's no way I'm going to let you do that. And so I salute the Ohio State coach. He said, look, I'm not sure what happened, but our players are not going to let you plant a flag. And I think that for Michigan, you're thinking all-time winner. They're all-time winner in college football, actual W's, but they don't have the most championships. But for their players to try to plant the flag, and the players were pepper sprayed by security, it was a total disaster. I don't know this, but I'm thinking that somebody from Michigan is going to write an apology. Yeah,
somebody should.
They should, because they wouldn't want that done at their field, although I think Texas did it. Texas did that to Michigan this year. It was an extended time period after the game was over. And somebody from Texas, one of the players came out there and planted the flag, but Texas tried to do that to A&M this year. And Coach Steve Sarkisian said, we're not doing that. So I salute Steve Sarkisian as well for defeating Texas A&M. His players, they wanted to move to that logo and do something. And he said, no, come away from that logo. We're celebrating over here. We won, but we're not disrespecting anything.
Every week some coach is being out-coached. Who was the coach who was being out-coached this past weekend?
Yeah, Donna. I would say that Ryan Day at Ohio State, with all that talent, and you have Chip Kelly as your offensive coordinator, he quit the head coaching position at UCLA. Think about that. He was head coach. He quit and become your offensive coordinator. You have all this high-priced talent and tremendous talent. You have 2 wide receivers as good as anybody in the country, especially the freshman, Jeremiah Smith from South Florida. And you have the quarterback, Will Howard, transfer from Kansas State, with Quinshaw Judkins, and they could not score in the second half. So you could call it out coaching. I guess I would. Their players did not execute the plan, or the plan was not good enough to put points on the board. And, so I would say Ohio State, they're not feeling very good. But they're going to be in the playoffs, Tom. They have a chance for redemption. But they didn't beat Michigan, I think, for the 4th time in a row. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have to go. I can't believe 30 minutes just flies by with you, AP. So what would you like to say about 30 seconds? What would you like to say before we go?
Yeah, just this week's show will be a lot of fun because we finally have the 2 teams who will play in the SEC championship. They'll probably both be in the playoffs, Texas and Georgia. It's a rematch. Texas it was a big letdown for them to lose to Georgia. I think the score was 30-15 over in Austin. So they have a lot of incentive to try to win the championship as a first year member of the SEC. And Georgia playing in Atlanta, it means a lot for them and Kirby Smart to win another championship in the SEC.
Absolutely. And no fighting this time, guys. No fighting. Stop it. This is your mother talking to you. Stop. AP, thank you so much for being with us. And thank you guys so much for watching Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Hope you have a super awesome rest of the day. We'll see you next time.